Well, this is the season to be reflective and grateful. And for me, the checklist is always easy. Grateful to God, my parents, my children, and now my grandchildren. Grateful to my friends and grateful for being born in the greatest country in the world. The thing about this nation is that it was born with a chip on its shoulder, determined to do things its own way, beginning with an intense commitment to freedom. This ingenious idea is why the United States raced to the front of the pack, and that's why we've stayed there. We don't see individual borders and boundaries, and we don't let expectations of others hold us back. In fact, for me, it's always been a motivation. I love being the underdog, and while I don't ask for anyone's approval, I insist on basic respect. Now, here's the rub. When it comes to pursuing our dreams, it's easy to be derailed. That's why commitment against long odds creates legends. Doing what they say can't be done makes you a legend. Inspiring others is what creates legends. And that's why I love my friends in the Investing Ape community. They are the personification of America. They have their own idea on how to approach the stock market, and they've never asked anyone for their opinion. Unfortunately, just as America has its detractors, from day one, there are a lot of folks out there rooting against the apes. I've come to the defense over and over again because I want them to succeed. I applaud anyone, in fact, who's trying to change their life through investing. And with that, I'd like to bring in Trey Collins. You know, Trey, there won't be any elephants in the room in our segment. We know what's going on Twitter and elsewhere. But I don't want to make this about one person, okay? You were on the board to come on today since the beginning of the week to discuss this movement. So, you know, I don't want to necessarily do a feud. What I do want to say is I bought $100,000 worth of GameStop and AMC because I love the apes. And I want to show solidarity. And that's why I think it's so important for people to be motivated by naysayers. Don't lose sight of the goal. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, Charles. And people have a pretty good head on their shoulders, intuition in terms of being able to recognize those who do stand up against naysayers and the specific naysayers that might need lawyers. But at the end of the day, it's all about exactly what you mentioned. You know, fighting for your neighbor and trying to make the holiday season a little bit better.
You know, and you, by the way, are the personification of the apes. And that's why I love you. I love your story, and I'm glad you always come on. And with that in mind, you know, often what happens is, and this, by the way, is a Wall Street gimmick when they say, how did you perform in a certain year? Because nobody starts from zero, right? Investing is not monopoly. We don't start at go with zero. But it's a Wall Street marketing gimmick. Nevertheless, when a calendar turns, attention spans can wane. People can move on to other things. With that in mind, what's next, do you think, with the Investing Ape movement as we move into 2022? Will it be as strong?
You know, my favorite thing that I see kind of get pitched is this idea of the music will eventually stop playing and people will just forget.
Right.
But if history has taught us anything, it's that you can kind of look at Darwinism and see that people have two choices: adapt and evolve, or die. And I think at the end of the day, retail investors just want to learn. They want to educate themselves. They want to adapt to the market and perhaps adapt the market itself. And I don't see that going away with the flip of a calendar.
Earlier this year, you were interviewed. You said AMC would be around $25 at the end of the year. Obviously, it's higher than that. I thought that was a very sobering target, but it was a mature-ish kind of target. And I'm actually now, though, beginning to think this price where it is now might be considered low. The Spider-Man success is amazing. You've got Batman coming up. There are a lot of signs that people want to go to the movies. They will always go to the movies. So with that in mind, have you changed your target based on fundamentals, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's kind of it's funny to me because 6 months ago when I said I think the fundamental value of AMC is $25, you don't think that sort of thing will come to fruition, you know, in that sense. But I think that I'd ultimately raise my target a pretty decent chunk. And the reason for that being that I like to think AMC trades like Tesla by forward earnings. What is the potential of the company? What can they do a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, right? And you can really see the way that they're revolutionizing the movie theater franchise company space. I mean, the NFTs, for example, are a way that the company can raise capital without ever having to dilute stock again if they're to create their own and issue them to investors that would like to buy something in that neck of the woods. I think that AMC is in a much better shoe than it was a year ago, and I think that Adam Aron is leading the revolution for the movie theater franchise and will be around for another century.
I got less than a minute to go. They're giving me the wrap signal. What do you say to your detractors? Other than the fighting, is it just, for me, it's motivation, and I just let them watch my success. And I know over the years they watch, they grit their teeth, and they watch and watch, and there's nothing they can do about it. What would you say to them?
You know, what I would say is a year ago, I don't think very many people thought that we'd be in the shoes that we're in now, right? With voices as loud as they are, with people being recognized for their intelligence, their education, their entrepreneurship, and look forward, don't look back. You can't connect dots looking forward, only looking back, is something Steve Jobs said in 2005. And I truly do believe that. I think all we can do is take a step forward every day and try to be better as a community and try to educate others. And I don't think that fire is going anywhere. That's what I've got for you, man.
Trey, God bless you. God bless the investing apes. And Merry Christmas. Don't ever give up.
Merry Christmas to you. Appreciate it, my man.
All righty.